everyone, and welcome to The Insider, the ongoing video series that keeps you up to date on everything Independence Pro Wrestling. I am the voice of IPW, J-Rod. The annual Peakout took place in Ann Arbor this year and began with the menacing Hexus versus the near 7-footer Darius Luttrell. Last time we saw Luttrell, he was on his way to winning the Michiana title until Josh Raymond socked him with that goddamn chain wrapped around his fist. The mean streak of Hexus wasn't enough to put down the former basketball pro, and Darius Luttrell chokeslammed Hexus through the mat for the victory. Next up, we got a preview of Grave Danger's main event. Jamal King and Chad Alpha got to discuss their no disqualification Falls Count Anywhere match for the IPW Championship. As tensions were rising, a new face came through the curtain. Aries Creed came out just to tell Jamal King that he was absolutely not worthy of this rematch and should step aside. Creed got pretty disrespectful, and King wasn't about to put up with it. King challenged Creed to a match in our main event. Just then, CJ Cole came to the ring. Cole said that since King is busy with Creed tonight, that means Chad Alpha's schedule is wide open. As you would expect, Chad Alpha gladly accepted CJ Cole's challenge, and Aries Creed used the distraction of that to land a cheap shot on Jamal King before fleeing the ring. The next bout was officiated by Terry Van Avery, who still has an active referee's license and is obligated to officiate a set amount of matches for the year, despite how much it visibly annoys him. We know how pissed off Invictus must be after the bullshit Big Jorge pulled on him at Power Play. So this may not have been the most opportune time for Jarris Gray to ask for a rematch from Dealer's Choice. Gray certainly did lay down for Invictus, but he was beaten up pretty badly. Invictus took the win here, but oddly enough, Jarris Gray still left the ring with a smile on his face. Perhaps he meant what he said. Jarris Gray is here at IPW to have fun. I guess it's true when they say that it takes a special kind of person to be able to compete between these ropes. CJ Cole had plenty of momentum on his side after getting that big win over Elijah Eros in Power Play, and his challenge for the title was warranted. CJ put up an excellent fight, but ultimately, Chad Alpha will roll into Grave Danger, still our IPW champion. Nasty Nathan Sharp wasted our time with a 4-minute pity party where he complained about his shoulder injury and blamed the fans for it. Then he played one of his god-awful instruments. I would go into more detail, but I'll save you the headache. In tag team action, the Youpers are finally back together again. Rem and Jay took on three-hearted members Max Morrison and Jimmy Shalwin. We were wondering if there would be issues between the two after what happened with Jeremiah Nazareth at Power Play. At first there weren't, but Max Morrison had a totally different attitude all night long. Morrison was using dirty tactics, and after being extra violent, almost like he was more fixated on hurting the Youpers than beating them. Even at one point, convincing Jimmy Shalwin to try to assist him with a spike pile driver on Remnar Gunlock, which would have surely put him right back on the shelf. The match ended when Remnar was covering Jimmy Shalwin, and Max Morrison tried to break it up with the heart drop, but Gunlock moved out of the way and hit Hype instead. Then Jay Lee assisted in holding Morrison back while Gunlock pinned Shalwin for a massive upset victory for the Youpers, which clearly makes them #1 contenders for the tag team titles. We were told that a #1 contender to the Michiana Championship has been determined, and Anderson Knight will face Josh Raymond on Saturday at Grave Danger 5. Anderson came to the ring to express his gratitude to management for the opportunity and to let them know how fired up he is about challenging Raymond for the title. Darius Luttrell reappeared and wanted to tell Knight that while he respects Knight and Knight does deserve a shot, Luttrell doesn't think he should have been overlooked considering how he was screwed in the match against the champ. Anderson Knight told Darius Luttrell that he would be more than willing to put his shot at the title on the line if Darius Luttrell believed that he could take it. Just then, Terry Van Avery took the mic from Anderson. TVA told Anderson that he definitely deserves this shot at the title, and so does Luttrell. But if they're about to fight it out for a shot to face Josh Raymond, Van Avery wanted in. Fans were delighted by the surprise three-way. All three men were swinging for the fences as Luttrell attempted 2 chokeslams, Knight 2 nightfalls, and Van Avery 3 super kicks. But in the end, it would actually be the finesse of a roll-up from Knight to solidify his #1 contender spot. For Darius Luttrell, this is a bit of a setback because he had just won a match earlier in the night, only to come up with a loss later on. For TVA, he hasn't won a match since June, and his hopes of being in the Michiana title picture have been all but crushed. He's made it clear that it isn't a shot at the Michiana championship he wants, it's a shot at the Michiana champion. But at this point, there's no way he's getting either. In our main event, IPW newcomer Aries Creed was hoping to propel himself to the front of the line as he took on the IPW championship #1 contender, Jamal King. While Creed put together a good test for Jamal King, everyone taps to the Supreme Lock. That concludes this edition of The Insider. Join us on Saturday, October 19th at Trinity Martial Arts in Kalamazoo, Michigan for IPW's longest running annual event, Great Danger 5.